Good morning, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Lubitor.
I'm Storm Tracker 2, meteorologist Eric Gage.
And a little damp out there this morning.
Yeah, some rain showers. North Country could see some slippery spots as some mixed precipitation moved in. Some snow showers even in the high peaks. But yeah, it's rain showers across the area. They're slowly coming to an end, and our attention now turns to lake effect snow. But first, a look at local temperatures above freezing in some parts of central New York. Currently 37 degrees in Rome and 37 degrees over in Hamilton. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. A cold front is sweeping through. This will change the weather as this sweeps into central New York. Wind direction will start to arrive very strongly from the west. And with the difference in lake temperature, that will initiate lake effect snow. You can actually see some of it starting to form just off of Lake Erie. However, the main zone we're focusing on is off of Lake Ontario. This is not setting up right now, but it will set up throughout the afternoon and evening, while heaviest accumulations are expected in the North Country heading into tonight. For the Mohawk Valley, we are not expecting any travel impacts for today, although it's going to be a bit windy out there. Wind speeds of 15 to 20 miles per hour. In fact, we could see some sunshine here in the valley. However, different story for the North Country. Even a few light flurries in the southern valleys as well. We have updated snowfall forecast totals expected for the tonight into tomorrow, and then additional snowfall expected from tomorrow night and into Wednesday. Look at that full forecast is coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. Let's get right to it now.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Welcome back again. Happy Monday. A look at your commute cast for your morning and for your evening. For this morning, dealing with some lingering light rain showers. Again, untreated surfaces, especially in the North Country up near Old Forge, could be a little slick as some rain showers did turn over to some possible sleet overnight last night. However, for the rest of central New York, just dealing with some wet roads that should be gradually drying out by the late morning. For your evening commute, in the Mohawk Valley, windy but quiet. However, in the North Country, we'll start to see some significant lake effect snow lingering into the overnight hours. So again, all dependent on location for your evening commute. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Here is that cold front sweeping through central New York. Behind that, that's when lake effect snow showers will start to develop. Again, the primary region right here in the North Country, even some lingering light snow showers possible from Lake Erie in the southern valleys. But again, the Mohawk Valley is looking quiet for today. Now winds, different story. Windy conditions today, windy conditions for Tuesday. Winds will gradually become more weak by Wednesday and Thursday. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Police in Vermont are searching for...
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning and welcome back. Happy Monday. It is a rainy start to your work week. However, that will switch over to some snow showers for the next several days, only isolated in the North Country for today. However, here is a live look at downtown Utica from our Nexus camera. Some wet roads, maybe some icy spots in higher elevations on untreated surfaces, but most, if not, of central New York should be relatively calm this morning. In fact, calm winds, temperatures above freezing, 37 degrees, and so it feels like 37. Highs for today only reaching the upper 30s. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. We are currently quiet across central New York this morning. Aside from that, those rain showers out to the west. This will bring with it another chance for some light rain. And behind that is that cold front. You can start to see some snow showers, some lake effects start to develop off of Lake Ontario, or Lake Erie right there, and eventually Lake Ontario. So here is the latest thoughts on our snowfall forecast for today and into early Tuesday morning. Notice a primary zone right up here, 12 to 18 inches, Tug Hill region. Typical, you usually see with those stronger lake effect events, 6 to 12 inches of snowfall expected for the Old Forge area. As you head south, things will decrease in terms of snowfall totals. Trace of 3 as far low as just north of Utica. Trace 2 in the southern valleys. Snowfall rates between 1 to 2 inches per hour in this region right here. Heaviest snow stays north through Tuesday morning. This will not impact Utica, the I-90 corridor, until Tuesday evening. Again, the Mohawk Valley remains dry for the daytime and night. Things change by Tuesday morning into Wednesday morning. Snowband shifts briefly south in the Mohawk Valley Tuesday, especially Tuesday evening, and then sweeps back up north again by Wednesday. And this could cause some reduced visibility in the Mohawk Valley. You can see right here, trace of 3 inches possible in the I-90 corridor, 3 to 6 additional snowfall. We're taking this day by day because, of course, with lake effect events, a few mile difference could mean a huge difference in snowfall totals. And so, for today, noticing relatively dry here in the Mohawk Valley with some sunshine peeking out, some flurries in the southern valleys. The most accumulations expected currently in the North Country. Now for tonight, that will continue to remain in the North Country by Tuesday morning. Boonville, Camden, Old Forge, still seeing those snow showers. The lake effect snow band will start to sweep south by Tuesday afternoon. Notice this right here, and it could cause reduced visibility in the Mohawk Valley before it continues to remain south in the southern valleys overnight Tuesday night. Then this will linger once more in the southern valleys before sweeping back up north again by Wednesday morning. And then after that, this snow band finally weakens and our next attention turns to just some light snow showers from a system approaching from the west. And so for today, isolated lake effect north of the Mohawk Valley. A bit windy though, wind speeds of 10 to 15 miles per hour, as high as 20 miles per hour. And of course, lake effect snow showers to the north. Your 7-day forecast. Pretty much that's the main story for the next several days is that lake effect snow. We're going to keep an eye on the positioning of the snow band because, of course, the exact position of that snow band determines how much snow we do see. And after that, though, things do dry out by Thursday and into Friday. So this is a multi-day event, but again, not everyone sees this snow 24/7 for all 3 days.
More like November now.
Yes.
Eric, thanks. The time right now is 5.
You're watching News Channel 2 at sunrise with Gary Liberatore.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2, meteorologist Eric Gage.
And we're talking a little bit of snow today for some parts.
Yeah, that's right. This morning, a little rainy to start out, and some slushy conditions from our sky watchers in the North Country. But other than that, again, all rain showers. That cold front sweeps through the day. Then we're talking about lake effect snow in the North Country primarily, and then it sweeps south by tomorrow. So for those of you wondering if any impacts to travel for the Mohawk Valley today, the answer is no. It will be for tomorrow, however. And take a look at those current conditions right now. Still above freezing and expect to remain above freezing for the entire day today with some lingering light rain showers currently getting picked up at Griffiths and Rome. Again, that cold front moves through this morning. Lake effect snow then starts to develop off of Lake Ontario and Lake Erie. Our primary focus, of course, will be off of Lake Ontario in the North Country. Mohawk Valley not seeing any travel impacts for today, but that will change by tomorrow. You can see right here that cold front is continuing to move through central New York. And behind that, lake effect snow showers starting to develop off Lake Ontario, or Lake Erie, I should say. However, it will start to form off of Lake Ontario as we head into this afternoon. And so for today in the Mohawk Valley, quiet weather, windy, winds of 15 to 20 miles per hour, and highs reaching the upper 30s. Different story for the North Country as heavy snow starts to develop later on this evening and light snow developing in the southern valleys. I'm tracking snowfall totals and exact impacts coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. And don't forget, the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away. Hamas released
The Cooperstown Camp is brought to you by Utica National Insurance Group.
Welcome back. A little rainy start currently going on. Taking a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. A cold front will be sweeping through central New York. within the next few hours. So although temperatures are currently in the mid to upper 30s, our highs will also only be in the mid to upper 30s for today. As things will continue to cool down, winds pick up, and lake effect snow starts to form off of Lake Ontario. Again, those temperatures this morning still pretty cool, but not too cool. In the mid 30s, 36 Little Falls, 37 down in Richfield Springs and Cooperstown, 36 up North Inlet, 38 degrees over in Westmoreland. And for today, we are looking quiet in the Mohawk Valley. The lake effect snow showers do not sweep south until tomorrow. So a little bit breezy with partly cloudy skies. Lake effect snow currently taking place in the North Country for this afternoon and this evening. Overnight, where the highest accumulations are expected. Eventually that will sweep south in the southern valleys by tomorrow night, and eventually into Wednesday morning, sweeping back up north again. Of course, I'll go into more detail with visuals behind me in that full forecast coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Thanks. The holiday season is underway.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. It is 5:49, dealing with some light rain showers starting to move into the area from a cold front. That'll keep things cool and windy for today, and also initiate lake effect snow in the North Country. Current conditions, taking a look at downtown Utica from a Nexus camera. Some wet roads, some slick spots in higher elevations in the North Country as mixed precipitation did form overnight. And of course, those current conditions here in the valley in the mid 30s with light rain, of course, calm winds. These winds will pick up by this afternoon. And here's that cold front. Taking a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Behind that, you can see lake effect snow showers starting to form off of Lake Erie. Now, as that continues to sweep east, additional lake effect snow will start to form right here off of Lake Ontario. And that will be the story heading into the next several days. So here's the latest information right now. We're breaking it down day by day because with lake effect snow showers, a difference in a few degrees of wind could impact snowfall totals. So for right now, the highest impact zones, of course, the typical region, Tug Hill, 12 to 18 inches of snowfall in that pink area right there. Heading to the east, 6 to 12 in Old Forge, 3 to 6 in the Boonville area, as well as Camden, Trace to 3 in that outlying area in those higher elevations just north of the Mohawk Valley. Mohawk Valley is not seeing any impacts today regarding snowfall. And of course, trace to 2 inches of snowfall from lingering lake effect snow showers from Lake Erie. And of course, these are the highlights for the snow showers for today. Now, for tomorrow, a different story as well. Lake effect snow showers will form, it will start to sweep south in the Mohawk Valley, could reduce visibility by Tuesday evening. Accumulations trace 3 inches in the Mohawk Valley, 3 to 6 inches additional north and south of the valley. And so in our Skycast, you can see quiet conditions, at least for today here in the valley. Overnight tonight, heavy lake effect snow showers taking place in the North Country. That lake effect snow band will continue to sweep south, could cause reduced visibility in the Mohawk Valley by tomorrow evening. Then it will continue to remain in the southern valleys overnight tomorrow night before sweeping back up north again, and then gradually weakening by Wednesday morning into Wednesday afternoon. And then after that, our attention turns to some light snow flurries from a weak disturbance to the west by Wednesday night. And so for today, highs in the upper 30s, isolated lake effect snow showers, a bit windy, winds between 15 to 20 miles per hour for tonight. Lake effect snow showers in the north, low of 24. Your 7-day forecast, lake effect snow for today, isolated to the north Tuesday, that sweeps south, and then lastly on Wednesday before things quiet down Thursday and Friday, and warming up a little bit as highs approach the low 40s. And of course, we'll be tracking this as the snow develops, and we'll be keeping an eye on the totals and travel impacts.
Yeah, we're not used to it yet.
Yeah, it's been a little bit since we've seen heavy lake effect snow.
Yeah, what a wild lack of snow winter so far. Eric, thanks. The time right now is 5:53.
At sunrise with Gary Liberatore.
Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Libertor.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2, meteorologist Eric Gage.
And we may see some snow here in the Mohawk Valley, huh?
Yeah, that's right. Not for today, but it will arrive by tomorrow, and that could cause reduced visibility with strong winds and, of course, that lake effect snow band. Now, for today, though, some light rain showers to start out your day. Taking a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 at top of the radar, some snow, some flurries taking place in higher elevations. However, as you can see right here, those rain showers will continue to push through the area. This will then switch over to snow, and as you can see, just to the southwest, lake effect snow is already starting to form of Lake Erie. That will start to form once more off of Lake Ontario as the day progresses. Now, around the state, temperature-wise, in the mid-30s, 37 in Rome and 37 degrees in Hamilton with some light rain showers picking up. And that cold front moves through this morning. That will change the weather as lake effect snow develops off of both of the Great Lakes to the west of New York. Mohawk Valley, not seeing any travel impacts for today. I want to hammer that home. No impacts expected for travel in the Mohawk Valley. However, that will change by tomorrow. But for today, though, expect windy conditions, wind speeds of 15 to 20 miles per hour. Some sunshine peeking out here in the valley as well. Different story for the North Country, seeing lake effect snow showers and some light snow in the southern valleys as well from Lake Erie. Again, I'm timing out what to expect for snowfall as well as when it should be arriving coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. Let's get right to it now. The Man Police say
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Good morning and welcome back. Here's a look at your morning and evening commute cast. Starting out as you head out the door this morning, no real travel impacts aside from some light rain showers taking place right now. Maybe some slushy spots in those higher elevations on untreated surfaces, so budget an extra minute or two for that. But again, so looking at rain showers turning to mostly cloudy skies by 7 to 8 a.m. in the Mohawk Valley. Then a different story for the evening commute. The Mohawk Valley, although windy, will be dry with partly cloudy skies. The North Country seeing a decent amount of lake effect snow showers that could reduce visibility and of course impact travel. Same thing for the southern valleys, although slightly less impacts will be expected as those snow showers will be a bit farther away from Lake Erie. But again, the highest impact zones for snow showers today will be in the North Country. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 at top of the radar. Here's that cold front sweeping through central New York. And of course, we will monitor when that lake effect snow will take place in the North Country this afternoon. And lastly, regarding wind speeds, blustery conditions for today and for tomorrow. And things will be slightly less windy for Wednesday and Thursday, but still a little breezy. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Police in Vermont are searching for the
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning and welcome back. A little rainy out there this morning with relatively mild conditions in the mid-30s and calm winds. Winds, however, will start to pick up by this afternoon. Here's a live look at downtown Utica from our Nexus camera. Again, wet roads, only tricky travel expected in some parts in higher elevations this morning, especially in the North Country Old Forge Inlet. Untreated surfaces could be a little slippery, but again, here in the Mohawk Valley, things are looking fine. Current temperature 38 degrees.
This is a weekly test of the Emergency Alert System. This station is testing equipment that can quickly warn you in the event of an emergency. This concludes this test of the Emergency Alert System.
Showers are going to form off of Lake Ontario as we head into this afternoon. So our latest thoughts on the snowfall forecast, breaking out our new snowfall forecast for at least for today and into tomorrow, breaking it down day by day. This is not a total forecast for the entire event. Notice in the North Country, typical region, Tug Hill, 12 to 18 inches of snow. Would not be surprised if those higher elevations up there see anything more than 18 inches of snowfall, as this could be pretty significant as we head into the overnight hours in this area. 6 to 12 inches in the Old Forge region, northern Herkimer County. 3 to 6 for Boonville in parts of northern Oneida County, and trace 3 inches as you head a little farther to the south. Trace 2 inches of snow expected from Lake Erie in the southern valleys. Then, as we head into tomorrow, Tuesday morning to Wednesday morning, this is our snowfall forecast for that as well. Trace of 3 inches here in the Mohawk Valley I-90 corridor. Different story for those parts of Syracuse heading into the higher elevations just south of the Mohawk Valley. 3 to 6 inches of additional snowfall are expected for there, as well as northern Oneida County and central Herkimer County. And so in our Skycast for today, looking dry here in the Mohawk Valley. That lake effect snow band still stays north throughout the overnight hours. Then it will start to sweep south, could cause reduced visibility in the Mohawk Valley by tomorrow evening. Stays in the southern valleys and then shifts back up north again by early Wednesday morning before the snow band finally weakens. And so for today, highs in the upper 30s, isolated lake effect snow showers, windy tonight. Lows falling into the 20s with lake effect snow to the north. Your 7-day forecast, snow showers isolated for today. That snow band sweeps south by tomorrow, could impact travel for tomorrow evening. And again, a little bit on the lighter side though for Wednesday, as snow showers do come to an end and then things do dry out by Thursday. And of course, we'll be tracking all the development of that lake effect snow, where it is.
Yeah.
And of course, we have our live radar also, if you want to track it as well, on WKTV.com.
Interesting 24 to 48 hours ahead.
Oh, yeah.
That's for sure. Eric, thanks. Be sure to like us on Facebook.
At Sunrise with Gary Liberator.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Liberator.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2, meteorologist Eric Gage.
And bundle up this morning for that bus stop. It's a bit chilly.
A little chilly, a little rainy out there too as well, and highs for today not warming up by much, only reaching the upper 30s. A bit windy for the evening bus stop too, but looking dry in the Mohawk Valley. Different story in the North Country with some lake effect snow showers that start to develop. But here, looking right now in the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar, some light rain showers pushing through central New York, some flurries taking place in portions of the North Country, Old Forge, as well as parts of Tug Hill. And again, things do dry out here in the Mohawk Valley. However, the North Country will start to see some lake effect snow showers develop this afternoon. Current temperature 38 degrees, so although it's a little chilly, not too bad across the area. Cold front moves through this morning, as just mentioned right there. Lake effect snow develops off of Lake Ontario and Lake Erie. Our main attention is on Lake Ontario, as that will produce a good amount of snow off into Tug Hill and into portions of northern Herkimer County. And I want to stress this, Mohawk Valley not seeing any travel impacts for today. All that snow will continue to remain north of our area. So for this morning, starting out with some lingering rain showers, returning to some sunshine by this afternoon in the valley with snow showers in the North Country and some light flurries in the southern valleys. We're talking about when that snow will impact the Mohawk Valley coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. And don't forget, the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away. Hamas released 17 hostages.
The Cooperstown Cam is brought to you by Utica National Insurance Group.
Good morning. More and more toys are filling up the studio, even behind me as well. I'd like to see all these fantastic toys for all the local kids in need. Regarding weather this morning, dealing with some rain showers in the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. On the lighter side, some tricky travel on untreated surfaces possible in those higher elevations, especially up near Old Forge and Inlet. But here in the Mohawk Valley, just some light rain that should be coming to an end within the next few hours. Current temperatures as you head out the door in the 30s, 38 degrees Westmoreland, 35 up north Inlet, Little Falls, 36 to the south, 37 Richfield Springs and Earlville, and 38 degrees in Cooperstown. And for today, Lake effect snow showers north of the Mohawk Valley. In the Mohawk Valley itself, looking on the partly cloudy side. Windy conditions, however, wind speeds of 15 to 20 miles per hour. Again, we're talking about when that lake effect snow band shifts south and snowfall totals expected coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. The holiday season is underway.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good Monday morning and welcome back. A little rainy out there this morning with temperatures in the mid-30s, only warming up into the upper 30s by this afternoon with quiet but windy conditions in the Mohawk Valley and lake effect snow showers to the north. Here's a live view of Oneonta from our camera atop Hartwick College. A nice view of the city of the hills, and a look across the state on the New York State Mesonet camera network, noticing a pretty good amount of snowfall up at Whiteface and some snowfall in the higher peaks, and some light snow showers taking place. As a matter of fact, over in Morrisville, surface temperatures are several degrees above freezing, so no accumulation is expected in those areas this morning. In a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar here in the Mohawk Valley, some light rain showers continuing to push through the area from a cold front. This will sweep through, and then behind that, lake effect snow. Already see some of that starting to form right here off of Lake Erie. Additional lake effect snow showers will continue to form this afternoon off of Lake Ontario. This is our primary focus right here as we take a look at our snowfall forecast. This is just until Tuesday morning. We're splitting it into two maps because this event is a little bit on the longer side. So until Tuesday morning, 12 to 18 inches as expected for the Tug Hill region. Usually see the highest totals when it comes to these lake effect events. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see up more than 18 inches of snow accumulation up here in the North Country in Tug Hill. 6 to 12 Old Forge, 3 to 6 heading south towards Boonville and north of Camden, and then things in the Mohawk Valley looking quiet. This will not impact us in the Mohawk Valley for today, with trace 2 inches of snow showers in the southern valleys. For tomorrow, this is a different story. Lake effect snow will sweep south. 3 to 6 inches of additional accumulation are expected north of the Mohawk Valley, as well as a higher elevation south. And here in the Mohawk Valley, trace to 3 inches of snow showers are expected. And so for today, see, look at that, looking quiet right here in the Mohawk Valley for this morning, this afternoon, and this evening. Snow continuing in the North Country with some light snow in the southern valleys. This will start to sweep south as we come into tomorrow afternoon. The thoughts are, with our latest model guidance, roughly between 1 to 4 p.m. Still too early to tell exactly when it will sweep south, but still could cause reduced visibility on those roadways, especially on I-90. And then things do quiet down in the Mohawk Valley, and snow still continues to fall here in the southern valleys before sweeping back up north again by Wednesday morning, and then things do quiet down by Wednesday afternoon. So for today, highs in the upper 30s, isolated lake effect snow, windy conditions tonight, lows falling in the 20s, lake effect snow to the north. Your 7-day forecast. The event as a whole comes to an end Wednesday. After that, looking at quiet weather Thursday and into Friday as highs approach the low 40s. And as we take a look at our data, we're actually a good amount below average for this time of year with snowfall. We're entering almost the start of December with barely any accumulation here in Utica.
Yeah, we've had it easy so far. That is for sure. Eric, thanks. The time right now is 6:52. From Otter.
Now, you're watching News Channel 2 at 7 a.m. on CW 11 with Gary Liberatore.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2, meteorologist Eric Gage.
And from that tower cam, we saw some wet roads out there this morning.
Yeah, a little wet, some light rain showers going through the area, some light snow in those higher elevations. Now for today, we're talking about lake effect snow, but not in the valley. North Country only, and some light snow flurries in the southern valleys. That will sweep south by tomorrow. So that'll be a tomorrow issue. For today, though, no travel impacts expected for the Mohawk Valley. In fact, those current conditions, take a look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Some light rain showers currently taking place in the Mohawk Valley. Some light snow showers again taking place in parts of Southern Valley's Hamilton, Morrisville. Temperatures near the surface are above freezing, so no accumulation is expected from that. And as you can see right there, snow reported in Hamilton. Cloudy skies taking place in Rome right now. Temperatures already in the upper 30s, but that'll be the warmest we'll be seeing for today. As winds pick up, that cold front moves through, and those temperatures will feel a little cooler. Lake effect snow develops off of Lake Ontario and Lake Erie this afternoon. Primary focus is, of course, on Lake Ontario, as that will affect our local area way more than Lake Erie. And, of course, Mohawk Valley not seeing any travel impacts today. And again, for today, high temperatures peaking in the upper 30s. Some sunshine could peek out in the Mohawk Valley by this afternoon, while snow showers will take place, plenty of it, in the North Country. We're talking about when that lake effect snow band sweeps south and how much snow we could be seeing in our full forecast coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. Let's get right to it now. The man.
Central New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning and welcome back. A little rainy to start out your Monday with temperatures in the mid to upper 30s. As we head in the afternoon, winds pick up and lake effect snow develops in the North Country. Here's a live view of Oneonta from a camera atop Partwick College. Quiet weather. Taking a look at Oneonta, however, different story for most of central New York right now. At a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 at Doppler radar, some light rain showers taking place in the valley. Some flurries in the higher elevations. However, surface temperatures are still well above freezing, so no accumulation is expected. Behind this cold front sweeping through central New York, lake effect is starting to form. It's looking at lake effect snow just forming off of Lake Erie, and lake effect rain showers starting off of Lake Ontario that will turn over to snow as temperatures cool throughout the afternoon. And a look at your snowfall forecast, we're splitting up into two maps for today and one for tomorrow lasting through Wednesday. So this is the initial part of the forecast. Heaviest snowfall, Tug Hill region, 12 to 18 inches, could see even higher totals in those isolated areas in Tug Hill. 6 to 12 inches up near Old Forge, 3 to 6 inches of snow taking place just north in northern Oneida County, central Herkimer County. And then a big drop-off. No snowfall is expected in the valley for today. That will change as we head into tomorrow, as 3 to 6 inches of snowfall are expected once more on top of the initial snowfall for northern Oneida County and Madison County, areas just south of the Mohawk Valley. Mohawk Valley, expect trace to 3 inches of total snowfall. And you can see in our skycast for today, lake effect snow taking form in the North Country, lingering throughout the morning to afternoon, and then by the overnight hours, continuing to see lake effect snow showers. Then that will sweep south as we head into Tuesday afternoon. Could cause reduced visibility in the Mohawk Valley, as temperatures will fall below freezing for all of central New York, so accumulation is possible, but again on the lighter side for areas in the Mohawk Valley. And then into the southern valleys, additional snowfall overnight Tuesday night before that snow band sweeps back up north again, and that snow band comes to an end by Wednesday. And so for today, highs in the upper 30s, isolated lake effect windy conditions tonight. Lows falling in the 20s with lake effect snow showers, drying out Thursday and Friday.
Gary Liberator.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. We are about to get our first real dose of winter weather right here in the Mohawk Valley. Much of the North Country will see snow tonight, but we down here in the Utica area will see some tomorrow. Meteorologist Eric Gage is tracking this system in the Weather Center. And Eric, this basically is a 1-2 punch, right?
Yeah, that's right. And for the most part, this will be primarily affecting the North Country and some parts of the southern valleys, briefly moving through the Mohawk Valley tomorrow. However, not that much accumulation is expected in the Utica I-90 area. In fact, taking a look across central New York on the Interstate Mesonet camera network, some sunshine outside in a lot of the area this morning. Clouds have moved in briefly, and some pretty good amount of snow taking place up in Redfield in Tug Hill. You can see on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Again, a very minor lake effect flurries and light snow taking place in the southern valleys right now. Stronger lake effect taking place in parts of the North Country. that should be arriving in Old Forge in just a few minutes or so. And this is the primary system we're focusing on right here off of Lake Ontario. This will stay north for this afternoon and this evening, sweep south tomorrow afternoon, and then sweep back north by Wednesday. And as you can see, temperatures in the Mohawk Valley are pretty mild in the low 40s. We're tracking partly cloudy skies in the Mohawk Valley. Lake effect snow again develops off of Lake Ontario and Lake Erie. Lake Ontario is the one we are primarily focused on. And again, that snow stays north this evening and pushes south tomorrow. And for today, highs approaching the upper 30s, low 40s. Again, with that partly cloudy skies in the Mohawk Valley, we're tracking the timing and impacts of that lake effect snow in detail in that full forecast coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. It wasn't snow.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon and welcome back. And here in the Mohawk Valley, saw some sunshine for the late morning. Some clouds moving through briefly this afternoon before partly cloudy skies move back in for the evening. A different story, however, for the North Country and parts of the Southern Valleys. Here's a live view of Cooperstown right now, looking at quiet weather. In fact, saw some people taking their dogs out for a walk. Not too bad of a late November day to do that right now, although winds will start to get a little bit on the stronger side as the evening approaches. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. For right now, some light flurries possible in the Southern Valleys. Temperatures are still above freezing near the surface of a lot of the area, so no real accumulation is expected from this. Different story again for the North Country as lake effect snow showers are currently taking place. It's been on the stronger side too with this dark blue, as you can see just right here. You can see this slowly sweeping into the North Country right now. This will primarily stay north of the Mohawk Valley for this afternoon, this evening, tonight, and early tomorrow. Then it will start to shift south by tomorrow evening. You can see the bigger picture right here, both of those lake effect events going on. We do have an update on the snowfall forecast, not for today or tonight, but for tomorrow. This is our forecast only for this evening and into early tomorrow morning. You can see right here, highest totals are going to be in the Tug Hill area, as expected with typical lake effect events. 6 to 12 inches is expected for the Old Forge area, northern Herkimer County. 3 to 6 inches of snowfall in the northern Oneida County, central Herkimer County. And as you head farther south, trace 3 inches and even no snow expected in the Mohawk Valley I-90 corridor. Trace 2 inches of snowfall expected in the southern valleys from Lake Erie. Updates, we bumped these totals up here for Tuesday morning into Wednesday morning. As that snow band shifts south, it becomes stationary directly over parts of Madison County, and then it will finally shift back up north again as we head into Wednesday morning. And for those of you in the Utica Little Falls I-90 corridor, trace of 3 inches of snow expected. Not looking at a whole lot of accumulation, but travel could be tricky with lowered visibility as we head into Tuesday evening. I'll show right here on our Skycast. You can see that snowfall currently taking place in the North Country. Winds a little variable. It'll start to sweep back up to the north again by the 7 o'clock hour tonight. Before it shifts back down, this is the primary time of seeing the most accumulation in the North Country. Overnight between 1 a.m. into the early morning hours for tomorrow. Then it will continue to shift south into northern Oneida County and then eventually into the Mohawk Valley between 1 to 5 p.m. Again, that could cause reduced visibility, but no real accumulation is expected at this point before it shifts south and then remains in this stationary position for a little bit before it shifts back up north again as we head into Wednesday morning. And so for today, isolated lake effect snow showers, highs in the upper 30s, low 40s, bit windy out there. Tonight, lows falling into the 20s with lake effect snow showers to the north. Your 7-day forecast, this system comes to an end by Wednesday afternoon. Thursday looking dry, bumped up those rain showers are supposed to be arriving on Saturday to Friday. Now Saturday is currently looking dry. Gary?
Eric, thanks. We are following breaking news right now. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for this half hour of News Channel 2 at noon. I'm Gary Libertor.
I'm meteorologist Eric Gage.
Who is keeping an eye on quite the system that's moving our way.
Yeah, that's right. We got two systems currently taking place. Lake effect from Lake Erie just off of Lake Erie right there, and also one off of Lake Ontario. This one we're keeping an eye on right here. Zooming in a little bit, we've got a good amount of snowfall taking place up in the North Country, Old Forge right now. Now, this is the primary region is taking place right here in the North Country. This will not sweep south into the Mohawk Valley until tomorrow afternoon. So this is an isolated weather maker right now, only for those of you who are in the North Country, as far south as maybe Boonville, as this system will continue to, the snow band will continue to wobble here and there over the next several hours into tonight and then eventually into tomorrow morning. Now, right now, accumulations will not be that high until those surface temperatures continue to fall. You can see up north, Watertown 39 degrees, Rome 40 degrees, some light rain, snow showers picking up with those current conditions in Syracuse and in Hamilton. Winds have picked up too. Take a look at this, 16-mile-per-hour winds in Rome, wind gusts upwards of 30 miles per hour. And so for today, expect windy conditions, although other than that, quiet weather for the Mohawk Valley and a few flurries in the southern valleys. The weather maker with lake effect begins to arrive tomorrow afternoon. That could impact commuting or travel situations in the I-90 corridor. Talking about the exact timing in detail, plus our snowfall totals coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. The suspect in the shooting of
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon. The final few days of November are here, and Mother Nature is treating us with some lake effect snow. Now, this won't be an issue for the Mohawk Valley today. However, it will be an issue for areas of the North Country this evening and into tonight. In fact, here's a live view to the south from our Oneonta camera atop Partwick College. Seeing a few flurries falling here and there. That's from minor lake effect from Lake Erie, really far downwind, far from western New York, but this is not going to be impacting any travel situations for the most part. And as you can see on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar, right here in the Mohawk Valley, maybe some light sprinkles, a few flurries in those higher elevations, but this is not really causing any travel issues. The main focus for this afternoon and this evening is going to be in the North Country. Take a look at this right here. That dark blue is indicating a good amount of snowfall rates taking place right now. And this will continue to stay from a westerly direction in the North Country for this afternoon and into this evening and into tonight. And tonight is when that accumulation is most likely to reach a good amount of snow. And look at this right here. Our snowfall forecast, this is only until Tuesday morning. We split up our snowfall maps because this is a longer duration event, and we don't want to say that all this snow will happen at once. Notice Tug Hill, highest totals right there. Usually what we see with lake effect snow events, Tug Hill sees the most. 6 to 12 inches as you head farther to the east in the Old Forge, northern Herkimer County region. 3 to 6 inches of snowfall for the Boonville, northern Oneida County, northern to north central Herkimer County. And then a huge drop off as we head into the Mohawk Valley. No snowfall is expected here in the I-90 corridor until tomorrow. As you can see, those traces to 2 inches of snow is expected for the southern valleys. Now, for tomorrow morning until Wednesday morning, this is when we could be seeing some accumulation of snow in the Mohawk Valley. Additional, on top of the snow you just saw on the last map, 3 to 6 inches of snowfall north of Oneida, northern Mohawk Valley. Biggest range right here, this is an update from this morning, 6 to 12 inches of snow in parts of Madison County in northern Chenango County as a snowfall band remains stationary as we head into tomorrow afternoon and into tomorrow evening. And so looking at our skycast for today, that lake effect snow band continues to stay north of the Mohawk Valley for today. A brief sweep up before it moves back down. This is when most of the North Country will see your snow. This will be between 1 a.m. and 6 a.m. Then that snow band will slowly start to shift south, northern Oneida County by the late morning into the Mohawk Valley between 1 to 5 p.m. Could reduce visibility on roadways, but no significant accumulations expected in those lower elevations. Then it sweeps south. This is when the band becomes stationary once more. and that will last all throughout Tuesday night and into Wednesday before that sweeps back up north again, and the snowfall does come to an end from lake effect before some more light flurries arrive from the west as we head into Wednesday evening. And so for today, highs in the upper 30s, low 40s, isolated lake effect, windy conditions, but sunshine could still peek out here in the Mohawk Valley for the rest of the day. For tonight, lows falling into the 20s with lake effect snow showers north. Your 7-day forecast, all this activity comes to an end Wednesday night. Into Thursday, it's looking dry with temperatures in the upper 30s. Those rain showers I mentioned this morning have shifted a day earlier to Friday. Saturday is now looking dry. Gary?
Feels like winter is a month early almost.
Oh yeah, a little bit.
And many folks are getting...
Tonight at 5, terminated the Utica City School Board.
The Board of Education.
The wind blows. Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis is tracking from the Weather Center.
So tonight, this is almost entirely north of the Mohawk Valley. It's going to come down really heavy in the Tug Hill, but for those of us in the Mohawk Valley, it skips us, at least for tonight. Tomorrow it's going to be a different story. That band will be dropping south, but it's going to be on the move, so it's not going to stay in one spot for too long. So live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Lake effect is starting to develop. We can see some widespread, generally light snow. The core of the band out towards Buffalo has developed, so it's just a matter of time before we see the same off of Lake Ontario. Our current temperature is 34 degrees, a little bit of light snow in the air. Again, that stays generally light for this evening. This is a look at the accumulation expected tonight. Again, you can see the heaviest snow is expected to fall north of the Mohawk Valley. 6 to 12 inches in areas like Old Forge. In the Tug Hill, 12 to 18 or more inches of snow. Travel looks very tricky, if not downright difficult at times in the Tug Hill. And also another band off of Erie that we'll talk about for the southern valleys. Again, that band of snow drops south tomorrow afternoon, impacting most of the area. We're expecting additional accumulations on Tuesday, and we're going to take a closer look at that. Coming up. But again, for this evening, some snow showers, temperatures in the 30s. Again, tracking that lake effect snow for tomorrow. We'll look at the forecasts coming up. Kristen, back to you.
Staying on the story, Utica Police.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Good evening. We're tracking a band of lake effect snow that is going to produce very heavy accumulation, but it's going to be on the move. And we're going to break things down for you and kind of time things out as to when this band develops, where it stays tonight, and where it moves tomorrow. Again, it's a complicated forecast. We're going to try and do our best to kind of spell things out as we see it. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Right now, many of us are seeing some widespread light snow. This is not going to cause any big traveling issues. Temperatures are above freezing, and this is pretty light. The core of this snow, at least the heavy snow, has not developed yet, but it will tonight, and it starts north of the Mohawk Valley. Downtown Utica, the weather looks quiet, and again, I think traveling conditions tonight will be generally fine with, again, some light snow showers in the air. Temperatures are near or just above freezing, and that'll be the case here for the next several hours. We are tracking a change in wind direction. So tonight, winds will align from the west, and this is going to set the stage for very heavy lake effect snow north of the Mohawk Valley. Tomorrow, winds turn into the northwest. We can see that happening out near Michigan, and that's going to cause the band to move. So let's talk about tonight. Tonight, we're expecting almost all of this accumulation to happen outside of the Mohawk Valley. We have two bands of snow that we're expecting. The southern band comes off of Lake Erie. This could produce a trace to 2 inches of snow across the southern valleys. Not any significant traveling issues here, but again, don't be surprised if you do wake up to a little bit of light snow tomorrow morning. North of the Mohawk Valley, this is where traveling could be quite tricky, especially north of Boonville towards Old Forge and into the Tug Hill, where more than a foot of snow can happen tonight, is expected to happen tonight, with snowfall rates between 1 to 2 inches per hour or more. Whiteout conditions, again, very difficult travel in the Tug Hill. It's best to avoid it overnight. Then things start to change. As the wind direction shifts into the northwest, that band of snow will be on the move. Let's time it out for you on our Storm Tracker 2 Skycast. Again, tonight, heavy snow north. Overnight lows drop down into the 20s. Tomorrow, the band of snow starts north at 7 o'clock in the morning, so the morning commute should be okay for most of the area, with the exception being north. here's when the band drops south. It's going to be in the afternoon, thinking between about 1 to 5 p.m. Winds shift. So expect dramatically changing weather conditions tomorrow afternoon in the Mohawk Valley, going from pleasant conditions, cloudy skies, to poor visibility. When this band moves in, the visibility drops and the heavy snow sticks around for a little while. Not going to be around for very long, thinking about maybe 1 to 2 hours before it sets up across the southern valleys as we head into tomorrow night. And that's where it stays tomorrow night, producing some heavier accumulation in Madison County before lifting north on Wednesday. So with that being said, additional snowfall for tomorrow and tomorrow night. This is expected to generally avoid heavy accumulation in the Mohawk Valley, again, because that band is moving. It doesn't stay in the valley for long, but still a quick inch or two of accumulation and a few slippery spots to be expected. The heaviest accumulation is expected in Madison County tomorrow night. Lake effect snow to the north tonight, 24 for the overnight low. Tomorrow, lake effect snow, high temperature of 30. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Snow comes to an end. We warm up Thursday's high 43. Rain on Friday. Dry weather over the weekend. If you missed any of that, guess what? I'll be back in a few minutes.
Well, we hope so.
Stay tuned.
I didn't know where they were going with that. We hope you're going to stay with us. All right, Bill, thank you. Live show.
Lake effect snow.
Yeah, and I just want to take a moment to kind of spell things out and kind of walk you through how the weather is going to change dramatically here over the next 24 hours. We'll start out by looking at the snowfall map for tonight. Our confidence is increasing that there's going to be very heavy snowfall along the Tug Hill and North Country. We're thinking 6 to 12 inches for areas like Old Forge, 12 to 18 inches in the Tug Hill. The band of snow stays entirely out of the Mohawk Valley, at least the steady snow that we're expecting tonight. And there will be a secondary band across the southern valleys from Lake Erie. This band of snow is going to be on the move. There's going to be 2 wind shifts that take place over the next 36 hours. Tonight, winds are primarily from the west, and again, the snow piles up quite a bit to the north. Then tomorrow, during the day, so the morning time, it's still dry in the Mohawk Valley, but the winds are expected to move that band south into the Mohawk Valley during the early afternoon. This is when we can expect rapidly changing weather conditions. We're going to go from dry weather to poor visibility in a very short time. But the band doesn't stay put. It's expected to drop southward as we head into tomorrow night, and that's where it stays into Madison County. Now, here's where the second change in wind takes place tomorrow night. That'll lift the band northward for Wednesday. The snow will be lighter, but we're not quite done with accumulation here until it looks like Wednesday afternoon. So for tomorrow, we're expecting a general 3 to 6 inches to fall north and south of the Mohawk Valley with a trace to 3 inches in the valley. Again, with the band moving, it's just going to be harder to accumulate some of that heavier snowfall in and around the I-90 corridor. Again, we're going to continue to keep you updated and track the snow as it develops on the Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Jason, back over to you.
All right, Bill, thank you. The state announces Bill Curtis.
Yeah, we're tracking lake effect snow. We're going to talk about the process of lake effect snow. It's all about the warm water, relatively warm water, and the cold air that's moving across central New York. And it's about the wind direction too. But what's interesting about lake effect snow is your heaviest accumulations tend to happen earlier in the season, and it's more than just the warm water. When snow falls in an environment that's very close to freezing, there's a lot more water vapor that can be put in the air compared to those really cold, dry days. In fact, some of the really cold, dry days, even with a really big difference between the lake and the water temperature, the lake effect snow isn't quite as robust, isn't quite as strong. So we're tracking that band tonight. It starts north of the Mohawk Valley. We can see it starting to form on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar, and then it drops south tomorrow across the Mohawk Valley and southern valleys. And so most of us will be getting some snow out of this. Of course, some places will be getting a lot more than others. On a lighter note, let's take a look at tonight's dogs. If you're taking the dog out for a walk this evening, just a few snow showers. Maze and Magnum from Lawrence. Tonight's featured dogs. If you want to be part of this, head to Bill's Buddies on Facebook. The snowfall forecast is coming up. Kristen, back to you.
With the snow on its way, AAA Northeast wants to make sure your car is ready for the season. First, have your battery tested and charged, especially if it's more than 3 years old. Second, make sure your tires are properly inflated, as cold temperatures can lead to loss of pressure, which can compromise safety. And fill your washer fluid and check your windshield wipers. These are all things we know we have to do. But packing an emergency kit, including snacks, is often forgotten.
If we recall last year with Buffalo, people were stranded for hours upon hours. So you really never think during a blizzard or if there are snow conditions out there to really pack those type of items. Just
Fully stocked winter survival kits, they're available from AAA. Most retail stores have them as well. Or you can make your own. You want to make sure you have a blanket, the snacks as we talked about, maybe a shovel as well. Most important, when you are driving in the snow, take it slow.
It was a holiday weekend for the
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We are tracking lake effect snow that's expected to develop tonight, falling heaviest north before it drops south on Tuesday, affecting just about all of central New York. This is a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Many of us are seeing some light snow showers and flurries, but the core of the lake effect has not developed yet, although we are noticing some heavier snow showers north. Different story to the west. See this band off of Lake Erie. Notice how thick and dark blue that is. That is lake effect snow that has quickly intensified. We're expecting the same thing to happen over Lake Ontario as we head into tonight. We'll be keeping an eye on this web camera. This is Old Forge, a light dusting of snow taking place today. A lot more is expected as we head into tonight and first thing tomorrow. Skywatchers in the 30s this evening. Whitesboro 35, Curtis Corners 32, Cooperstown with 34. And again, the heaviest snow overnight takes place north of the Mohawk Valley. Tomorrow, the wind direction changes, so this band of snow drops south and it moves across central New York, producing widespread snow. And then on Wednesday, the winds turn back into the west, bringing the snow to the north. Again, tonight, heaviest snow expected north of the Mohawk Valley, 3 to 6 inches for areas like Boonville to Speculator, Old Forge, 6 to 12 inches, 12 to 18 inches or more of snow in the Tug Hill. This stays out of the Mohawk Valley. It's generally dry aside from a few light snow showers and flurries. Traveling is going to be very difficult in the Tug Hill tonight. Now tomorrow, that band of snow is going to move. In fact, first thing tomorrow morning, it's still generally north of the Mohawk Valley for the morning commute. But as winds turn into the northwest, this band of snow drops south. It's expected to move into the Mohawk Valley between about 1 to 5 p.m. Expect rapidly changing weather conditions as it drops through. It doesn't stay around for very long. We're thinking of a couple of hours in the Mohawk Valley before settling in the southern valleys. Madison County, Otsego County, this is where the lake effect snow stays tomorrow night. We're expecting some pretty heavy accumulation, and then the band of snow lifts to the north as we look ahead to Wednesday. Snowfall for Tuesday. This is for Tuesday morning through Wednesday morning. A general 3 to 6 inches surrounding the Mohawk Valley. There is less snow here in the Mohawk Valley. We drew this map on purpose because we've noticed that as the band drops south, it moves downward. It loses elevation as the band drops south, and it tends to dry out. That's why the Mohawk Valley tends to get less snowfall compared to surrounding areas when the band is moving, as it's expected tomorrow. 6 to 12 inches of accumulation for Madison and northern Otsego County. This is mainly tomorrow night, with that band of snow expected to, again, produce some locally heavy snowfall south and west of Utica. Tonight, lake effect snow to the north, 24 for the overnight low. Watch out for rapidly changing weather conditions as that band moves in to the Mohawk Valley tomorrow. But again, it doesn't stay there. It's going to move to the south, a high temperature of 30. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Light snow on Wednesday. We'll have another snowfall map in the next 24 hours to address that. Right now it looks pretty light. Thursday we're up to 43. A lot of melting snow that does fall. In fact, our next weather maker is some rain expected Friday, 40 degrees. Temperatures over the weekend close to 40, dry on Saturday and Sunday. We'll be right back.
Thanks for joining us. It's winter. Talking lake effect snow. 3 words that we are, I was going to say, anxious to hear, maybe, if you like skiing.
If they like skiing.
If you like skiing.
Yeah.
But at this point in the game, in this point in the season, we're going to have to worry about clearing it from our driveways more than anything else. It's not the fun snow.
That's right. Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis tracking it in the Weather Center.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing snow become widespread tomorrow. In fact, tonight, if you are traveling, we've been getting some flurries in the air. These are not related to the band of really heavy snow that's just starting to develop north of the Mohawk Valley. So traveling conditions locally this evening will be fine, aside from a couple of flurries. Temperature-wise, we're above freezing, so even the light snow that we are seeing occasionally won't be sticking. The snowfall tonight falls heavy north of the Mohawk Valley. We're expecting over a foot of snow in the Tug Hill. Boonville speculator 3 to 6 inches of snow. Notice how it pretty much skips the Mohawk Valley tonight. A trace to 2 inches from a band off of Lake Erie Falls south of the Mohawk Valley. But that band does drop south tomorrow, and that's when it impacts the Mohawk Valley. We're going to time it out and also talk about the impacts here. Snow drops south and west of Utica tomorrow night. The heaviest accumulations are not expected to fall in the Mohawk Valley, but surrounding the Mohawk Valley. We'll take a look at those snowfall forecast maps coming up. Jason, back over to you.
All right, Bill, thank you. We're continuing to follow the break.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're starting to see the beginning of heavy lake effect snow that's developing north of the Mohawk Valley. Let's take a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Up near Oswego and Watertown, that dark blue that you see is the core of the band. We are seeing some snow outside of that band, especially south into areas like Madison, Otsego, and out towards Syracuse, but that's not expected to produce much accumulation. As the winds become westerly tonight, that band is expected to strengthen and bring heavy snowfall north of the Mohawk Valley. Live look at Old Forge, a light coating of snow on the ground. We'll be watching this web camera tonight. We're expecting a lot more snow in this particular area overnight. Sky watchers are checking in with temperatures generally near or just above freezing. Clinton 35, Ilion 36 degrees, and West Lawrence with 32. Winds are going to change twice over the next 36 hours. First, the winds align into the west, and that produces snowfall north of the Mohawk Valley. Tomorrow, the wind direction changes into the northwest. We can see that happening out near Michigan. That's going to cause the band of snow to drop south. And then the next wind shift happens tomorrow night and into early Wednesday, bringing the snow north. Let's break it down for you. Tonight, heavy snowfall falls north of the Mohawk Valley, 6 to 12 inches towards Old Forge, 12 to 18 inches in the Tug Hill. Travel is not recommended in the Tug Hill tonight. We're expecting very difficult traveling conditions, 1 to 2 inches of snow per hour, along with whiteout conditions. A secondary band of snow is expected to produce a light accumulation, a trace of 2 inches south of the Mohawk Valley. That band remains north during tomorrow morning's commute. So the Mohawk Valley, the southern valleys, things look pretty quiet in the morning. The band drops southward, expecting to move into the Mohawk Valley between about 1 to 5 p.m. Expect rapidly changing weather conditions tomorrow, with visibility dropping quickly as that band moves in. This band's going to be moving quickly for a lake effect band, dropping to the south by tomorrow evening and producing some locally heavy snow across Madison and Otsego County. That's where it stays tomorrow night. Heading into Wednesday, the winds turn again bringing that snow to the north. Accumulations Wednesday look relatively light. Tomorrow, additional snow accumulation. Most of us outside the Mohawk Valley picking up 3 to 6 inches of accumulation, 6 to 12 inches in Madison County. Most of that falls tomorrow night. Again, this map takes us through Wednesday morning. The reason why there's a lot less, why this map is kind of drawn the way it is because a lot of times when lake effect moves from north to south, it skips, or at least it weakens as it moves into the Mohawk Valley. As the air sinks, it tends to dry out, and so that's why we're thinking there's going to be a local minimum along the I-90 corridor. But again, that's not going to be the case everywhere. Many more of us picking up about 3 to 6 inches of snow tomorrow. Lake effect snow north tonight, low of 24. Lake effect snow tomorrow. Again, plan on dealing with rapidly changing weather conditions as that band moves through. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. We warm up. Temperatures in the low 40s Thursday. Everything is over by that point. Our next weather maker brings a cold rain. Everybody's favorite.
Cold rain.
Being sarcastic here. For Friday, temperatures near 40.
All right, Bill, thank you.
Coming up, best plays from the past week.
Watching News Channel 2 at 10 on CW11 with Jason Palace.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. The first significant snowfall of the season is here. Some are seeing it now. Others will see it tomorrow. Let's bring in Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis with a first look at your forecast tonight. And Bill, it's scattered all over, but everybody, this is going to affect everybody at one time or another, right?
Yeah, that's right. This band's going to be moving, which means some areas are going to really cash in and get some pretty heavy snowfall. Other places will not. Let's take a look at what's going on tonight. This is entirely up north across northern United County, at least the heaviest band. But there's a secondary band that has occasionally brought some bursts of snow to the southern valleys. We'll start there tonight. You can see some snow happening, Sherburne, Cooperstown, Milford. The band of really heavy snow falling across the North Country, where heavy snow is expected to take place tonight. Current temperature at Griffiths and Rome, 32 degrees. Heavy snow continues to the north overnight, where 6 to 12 inches of accumulation takes place across northern Herkimer County. 1 to as much as 2 feet in the Tug Hill, with very difficult traveling conditions expected. That band of snow drops south into the Mohawk Valley tomorrow afternoon, where just about all of us will be seeing some impact with that in terms of poor visibility and some slippery roads during the late afternoon in the Mohawk Valley. I'm going to time out this band coming up. It does look like it's going to drop south and west tomorrow night, and the heaviest snow accumulations look to generally remain out of the Mohawk Valley. Tonight, lake effect snow north, a low of 24. Again, tracking that band of snow as it drops south tomorrow. We'll look at your forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. With the snow on its way, AAA Northeast wants to make sure your car is ready for the season. First, have your battery tested and charged, especially if it's more than 3 years old. Second, make sure your tires are properly inflated, as cold temperatures can lead to loss of pressure, which, of course, can compromise safety. And make sure you fill your windshield washer fluid. Check your wipers, too. All good things to know. We have to do this. But one thing you should remember is packing an emergency kit, and that includes snacks, which people often forget.
If we recall last year with Buffalo, people were stranded for hours upon hours. So you really never think during a blizzard or if there are snow conditions out there to really pack those type of items, just to keep you safe.
Fully stocked winter survival kits are available from AAA and most retail stores like Walmart, or you can make your own. Most important thing when driving in the snow, and I'm going to remind you because we all forget, slow down. The other big story that we're following for
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening and welcome back. We are continuing to track snow as it develops across central New York. We have 2 distinct bands that have formed tonight. The big one is to the north. That one is expected to produce very heavy snowfall across the Tug Hill and North Country. A secondary band off of Lake Erie has formed across the southern valleys. This is not quite as well organized, but it does occasionally bring some locally heavy snow at times across the southern valleys. In between, we've been seeing the wind shifting around tonight. We've been catching some snow off of Lake Erie across the Mohawk Valley too. And while it has come down at times pretty steadily, that's not going to be the general norm tonight. The Mohawk Valley stays out of the heavy snowfall. Live look at Old Forge. The roads are snow covered, and a lot more is to come here as we head into tonight for the North Country. Winds aligning into the west this evening will bring some heavy snowfall north. Tomorrow the winds will be turning into the northwest and the band will be dropping southward. So let's take a look at what happens tonight. Heavy snowfall is expected. We haven't changed our numbers here since Sunday. Well, actually since Saturday. We're thinking a general 6 to 12 inches for Old Forge, 12 to 18 inches for the Tug Hill, 3 to 6 inches from Boonville to Speculator. Again, the Mohawk Valley generally misses out on any significant accumulation. South of the Mohawk Valley, again, a fluffy inch or 2 of snowfall is possible from Lake Erie. Tomorrow, that band is heading south. By 7 o'clock in the morning, it's still north of the Mohawk Valley, but this will be dropping southward. Expect rapidly changing weather conditions tomorrow in the Mohawk Valley. While we're not expecting the core of the snow to stay in the valley, it is going to impact travel for a couple of hours, specifically with whiteout conditions, with the winds picking up and the snow coming down pretty heavily for a short period of time. That is going to be the case tomorrow afternoon. The band heads to the south and west, and that's where it stays as we head into tomorrow night, producing some locally heavy snow in Madison County before lifting back to the north on Wednesday. Snowfall tomorrow, thinking a general 3 to 6 inches of accumulation surrounding the Mohawk Valley. In the valley, we're expecting an inch or two of accumulation, but again, the numbers may not be impressive for those of you living in the Mohawk Valley, but a reminder that this comes down in a short period of time, so just because you're not expecting a lot of snow doesn't mean it can't have a high impact for a short period of time tomorrow afternoon. 6 to 12 inches of accumulation expected in Madison County, where that band of heavy lake effect snow will sit as we head into tomorrow night. And again, some of the headlines here, again, highlighting when this is going to be happening across the region. Tonight, lake effect snow north, 24 for the overnight low. Tomorrow, expect that burst of snow to take place in the afternoon in the Mohawk Valley, a high of 30. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Snow showers Wednesday, 32, and then it starts to melt. Sunshine Thursday, 43. Rain Friday. The weather looks dry over the weekend with temperatures close to 40. So a couple of days dealing with some winter weather, and then we get a break.
Then it's back to bare ground again.
That's right.
All right, thanks, Bill. Coming up next, the public paying.
News Channel 2 at 11 with Jason Powers.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. The first significant snowfall of the season is here. Some are seeing it now. Some will see it later. In fact, Lewis County sheriffs have just issued a travel advisory due to heavy blowing snow there. Let's bring in Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis with a first look tonight. And it's nasty way up north. You can see it right on the radar. Everyone's going to see this at some point, right?
Yes, the North Country is expected to get the heaviest accumulation here out of this event. It is going to drop south heading into tomorrow and impact central New York, generally in the afternoon in the Mohawk Valley, but we're going to take a closer look at the timing of this in a little bit. Again, live look at the radar, really heavy snow falling across the Tug Hill into the North Country. 1 to 2 inches per hour snowfall rates here with, again, whiteout conditions. We're seeing a secondary band off of Erie that is producing some snow south of the Mohawk Valley, and occasionally we do get a burst of snow that takes place there. Current temperature is 32 degrees. The heaviest snow accumulates tonight north of the Mohawk Valley. 6 to 12 inches, Old Forge, 12 to 18 inches along the Tug Hill. Again, accumulations very light in the Mohawk Valley. Southern Valley is a trace to 2 inches, and that takes us through tomorrow morning. The band drops south tomorrow afternoon, producing widespread snow and poor visibility. The snow will continue to drop southward tomorrow night and set up south and west of Utica. The heaviest accumulations are expected north and south and west of Utica. Tonight, again, tracking that lake effect snow. We're timing the band as it moves across the Mohawk Valley. Look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. With the snow on, the Northeast wants to make sure your car is ready for the season. They tell us first, you need to make sure your battery's tested and charged, especially if it's more than 3 years old. Second, make sure your tires are properly inflated. Those cold temperatures can lead to loss of pressure, which of course can compromise safety. And fill your windshield washer fluid. All things we know we have to do, but packing an emergency kit, including snacks, that is something that is often forgotten.
If we recall last year with Buffalo, people were stranded for hours upon hours. So you really never think during a blizzard or if there are snow conditions out there to really pack those type of items just to keep you safe.
Fully stocked winter survival kits, they're available at AAA and most retail stores like Walmart, or you can just make your own. Most important of all, when driving in the snow, can't emphasize this enough, slow down. The other big story that we're following.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're tracking the lake effect snow falling across parts of central New York. The heaviest band of snow is taking place in areas like Lewis County, northern Herkimer County. The core of this band is just ripping tonight. And we're looking at snowfall rates in the middle of this of 1 to 2, even 3 inches per hour. So this is going to be adding up very quickly. And again, travel is going to be extremely difficult in parts of Lewis County. Best to avoid traveling tonight, heading north, at least for tonight while this band continues to stay put. Now, across the southern valleys, we've been occasionally getting bursts of snow this evening. The winds have been wobbling around. It's actually coming from Lake Erie. This has occasionally brought a burst of snow to the area, but it's much less impactful in and south of the Mohawk Valley tonight. But again, do be on the lookout for a few areas of reduced visibility from Lake Erie as that continues tonight. Live look in Old Forge, snow-covered ground. The visibility has been getting worse as time's gone on, again, as that band continues to develop north of the Mohawk Valley. Winds are going to change direction tonight. That band is going to be heading south tomorrow. Winds go from the west to the northwest. And again, overnight, heavy snowfall takes place. Still thinking 6 to 12 inches of accumulation overnight for northern Herkimer County. The Tug Hill, 12 to 18 inches or more of snow. There'll be some areas that will probably get close to 2 feet first thing tomorrow morning. And again, this continues to stay out of the Mohawk Valley. A trace to 2 inches of snow from that band off of Erie is expected south of the Mohawk Valley. Let's track the timing of that band. Again, it stays north through tomorrow morning through 7 a.m. So the morning commute is okay across the Mohawk Valley. Then this band of snow starts to drop. Now, it's going to be on the move. It's expected to arrive in the Mohawk Valley between about 1 to 5 p.m. Be on the lookout for rapidly changing weather conditions. As this band moves in, the visibility drops and it could be difficult to travel for a short period of time as this band moves through. It'll be very similar to a snow squall. The band drops to the south and west tomorrow night. This is where it produces some heavy lake effect snow in Madison and Otsego County, and then it lifts back to the north first thing Wednesday morning. Now, accumulations tomorrow, again, expecting a general 3 to 6 inches of snowfall in and around the Mohawk Valley, 6 to 12 inches in Madison County. That primarily falls tomorrow night. So again, this map goes from tomorrow morning through Wednesday morning. One of the reasons why the Mohawk Valley has less accumulations is because of the terrain. A lot of times when heavy snow drops south, the sinking air going from the higher elevations to the Mohawk Valley can oftentimes produce what we call subsidence. It's just drier air that works in. So even though there is less snowfall, it's not zero. There will still be impacts in the Mohawk Valley too, just less compared to the higher elevations surrounding the Mohawk Valley. Tonight, lake effect snow north, 24 for the low. Tomorrow, that snow band drops south. Again, be on the lookout for rapidly changing weather conditions in the afternoon across the Mohawk Valley. Snow showers Wednesday, 32. The snow melts on Thursday, 43 for the high. The next weather maker, a rainmaker. Who doesn't love a cold rain? Everybody else.
I don't love the, hey, on our way into work tomorrow, we're going to have to deal with this.
Yeah, unfortunately. Again, the whiteouts will probably be the bigger issue rather than the accumulation.
Just slow down. That's so important. All right, thanks, Bill. Coming up next,